he's got a very good doosra, and 3 seamers and Shoaib Akhtar also in the bench strength. So I think they are a more balanced bowling attack irrespective of what the wicket is. Well, when he made his debut in, I think, 89, if I'm not wrong, for the last 21 years, the whole of India has been expecting things from him. So I don't think it's anything new. But being the kind of individual he is, I think he always thinks about, going on to the field and giving his best, because, as I always say, it's not about the result. You can't control the result. But what you can control is, how you're preparing for a game. So if you're preparing well, if it's your day, definitely you can get big runs and you can make your team win. So no point thinking about what milestone you are supposed to achieve. He has achieved a lot. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. It's just about himself. So I think he'll just prepare well. He'll have a good night's sleep and turn up on the field and be at his best.
That's right.
It's a big game. Being the finals, more often than not, most of the teams will love to bat first, put runs on the board and put pressure on the opposition. I feel that will be the only aspect. Apart from that, if you just talk about the wicket, you may see the wicket, maybe get slower as the game progresses, but I don't think there'll be too much of a difference, apart from handling the pressure, which may be more in the second innings compared to the team batting first. Well, I think it's his passion it's love and passion for cricket. Every time he turns up on the field for a practice session or for a game, you find him, he's 100% there. It's never that he turns up on the field just for the sake of coming onto the cricket field. You rather take some time off or be at the hotel. So, whenever he turns up on the field, he gets there with a purpose in mind. Until that doesn't get resolved, if there's an issue, it doesn't get resolved, he's one person who won't leave the field. And more often than not, the kind of talent he has got, he makes sure that in 2 hours, it gets rectified. So he's an amazing person to have, and I think the attitudes had not changed for the last 21 years. Most of the people, or I think everyone, will lost interest, but it's such I think God just made him to play cricket, and he's doing that for the past 21 years and a few more years to come.
That's it.
Well, it was a big game. India-Pakistan game is always a big game, and then you see the guest list, and there's further pressure on you, and there are a few things that you don't know, and hopefully you don't know. That's even better. But there is pressure on individual when you're playing Pakistan. But at the same time, what we know as a team is, it's not about how the hype is or what the expectations are, because at the end of the day, the 11 individual who are part of their side, they'll be playing against the team, and the 4 people who are the bench strength, they'll have to face each and everything. So rather than thinking about something that's beyond your control, I feel it's very important to be in the present, prepare well, and go onto the field and give it your best shot, because you can't control the result at all. In a sport, you may be at your best, but the opposition team, they can really outplay you and win a game, even if you are at your best. So I feel it's not the result, the preparation that's important. And of course, we are quite drained after the semi-finals, but the next 2 days we have utilized to our best, the best way that we could have, and hopefully that will help us, give our best in the finals.
Sharda, outside?
I don't think we and the Prime Minister spoke a lot, because I felt everybody around was under pressure, because it was a big game. You're supposed to enjoy the game at the same time, so not much between me and the Prime Minister. And as far as being the captain is concerned, before a big game, after a big game, or before a big tournament, or just before a bilateral series, I don't think much changes. You still, what you need to do is you need to plan among yourself as to what needs to be done. I'm not a big fan of bowlers meeting or batters meeting, because I feel the bowlers, they should go and have their meeting with the bowling coach and leave me so that I can think my own way, and the bowlers, they'll have a plan in their mind when they turn up on the field, and both of us will think in a different way. So if their field is not working to a particular batsman, I can intervene and have my own set of plans, and if I am also sitting and I'm also part of that bowling meeting, often what happens is I'll also have that kind of ideas in my mind. So it has really helped me in the past 3 years. I have not been part of the bowlers meeting at all. I prefer staying away, whether it's IPL or the Indian cricket team. So that has helped. So let's see. Hopefully, it will help us in the finals. Well, I don't know because I'm not that great when it comes to recalling memories. But definitely, I must be excited before the 2007 finals, as I'm excited right now. Of course, I've played a bit more games since 2007. I've played a few more big games since 2007. So I think I'm in a better position to keep myself calm and do everything that I can so that me and my team we can perform. Well, there's only person who can control Srishant. It's Srishant himself. So it's quite beyond my control. So I don't think too much about it. Just that again, he's a player that gets excited, when it comes to big games. So if he's playing, I think he'll be in a good frame of mind. Yes, it's unfortunate that we have not been able to give him chance in the tournament. The first game that he played, I thought he didn't bowl that badly. But after that, we gave chances to quite a few other individuals, which I think was needed also at that point of time. Would have loved to give another chance to Srishant, but as we reached the last game of the league series, after that we have not really been able to give anybody a chance. It has been more about featuring the best 11, who suits the condition more over there. So let's see, hope for the best, and whoever plays just gives us a good performance. Well, you don't need to think it as a final. Think it as a game where you see the wicket and you play the best 11. And Sri has done well for us. Most of the games that he has played, he has done well. He's one character who can definitely swing the ball and get you early wickets. So I think it will be an exciting one. Choosing one individual would be certainly a bit difficult. But as I say, whoever gets choose hopefully performs to his best. Well, that's beyond my control. Again, it's up to the umpires, match referees, and the ICC. So if somebody features on the ground and is bowling a dusra, it's absolutely 100% legal. If there's anything wrong, let the match referees decide.
This is supplementary to one.
Well, it's not a bad option if you need one. It's not that everybody needs to be given. I'm quite good when it comes to sleeping, so I don't think I need a sleeping tablet. But yeah, why not? Being the kind of tournament it is, if you need one, why not gobble one, because it doesn't affect you to that extent. But again, do you think the semi-finals was not intense enough? I think every game that we played, since the quarters, every game the surname changed, of the game from the final to the second final and to the third final. I don't know how many finals we have played. So I think the individuals, they'll be quite prepared for it. But of course, they will be anxious and there will be a certain amount of nervous energy, revolving around everyone, in both the camps. So if needed, gobble one.
Last two questions. One.
You have been the captain of the T20 champion team.
Well, it's a team sport, and when you're part of team sport, you don't think individually. And as far as the success of Indian cricket, if you talk about the success, I think the big change happened after the 1983 victory, and after that the kind of players we got, all of every 2 years, 3 years, you got a player who was big enough, and then you had Sachin Tendulkar and Anil Kumble making their debut at around the same time, and a few years time you have Saurav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid making their debut, followed by VVS Lakshman. So what is important is everyone's contribution. Every 4 years, 5 years, we had an individual who was very different and very special, and then came the new era of players, with Virender Sehwag, Harbhajan Singh, and the way they performed in the 2003 World Cup, and then the last generation, the latest generation, came with the 2007 World Cup. So I think it's everybody's contribution that is important. It's not about individuals. It's not about just the skippers. I think it's all about the team. What kind of a team you have got and how the individuals, they respond to different challenges.
Last question.
So you talked about the food, to start off. I think that was one thing I didn't want to say. Before the semi-finals, the first meal the team had was 1:45 because food was not served at the hotel. They said it will take more than an hour to serve your breakfast. And when we turned up on the field, there was not 100% food. There was nothing actually at the ground. So we had the early warm-up, and we said, okay, the meal will be after the warm-up session. So these are the things which can distract you to some extent, but what is important is what you can do about it, because you may scream, you may shout, but you won't get the food. So what is important is to use the time in the best possible manner. We went to the field, we did our warm-up, and the meal we had was before the toss. So the situation was different over there. There are not many big hotels in Mohali. If you see over here, there are plenty of big hotels, and I've quite a few friends over here who will be ready to bring food in half an hour's time. So I don't think that should be a big concern, and there should be any distraction as such.
Thank you all. Footage